Search is changing. You've probably noticed it and have questions. Is ChatGPT going to outdo Google? Is traditional SEO dead? How are you going to get leads to your website if people aren't clicking on links anymore? I'm going to be sharing with you the 10 most important things about these topics to see, are you in trouble? Do you need to be changing things in your business? And why you're maybe okay and it's not time to panic yet. Okay, so the first thing for you to know is that Google is currently losing market share. Google's search market share has dropped below 90% for the first time since 2015. Now, there's a few reasons for this I will get to in the video, but there's a couple important things. First of all, yes, it's still 90% of all search traffic is going through Google. So if you're like many business owners that have put all your eggs in the Google basket, it still has 90%. However, like this article says, this 90% is a sign of the trends, and it's a sign of something bigger that's coming along that we'll see a little bit more as we continue the video. As you can see from the screenshot here that one of our SEO analysts took, you can see there's a ton of people losing percentage in the market, with this one standalone person who seems to be gaining. Any guess who that is? Yeah, ChatGPT. I mean, Google has 90% market share. It would take somebody to be growing extremely fast to be able to disrupt that. It would be somebody that would have to be the biggest growing company of all time or something like that. OpenAI's ChatGPT has been the fastest growing platform in the history ever since the chatbot launched 925 days, 2.5 years ago. Here's it on comparison to the other large language model chatbots out there. It has 5.5 billion monthly visits and is quickly racing to catch Google. The way I interpret these numbers is that we are just very early on in something that is going to take place over the next few years, but here are the beginning signs that something is definitely changing. Regardless of ChatGPT, Google itself is still pushing AI search. We've had AI overviews for over a year now, and they have their own AI search model that they are now spreading out to the public. So now, even with Google search traffic, things are still changing even more here. So you can see here's an example from one of our clients where we searched, and in the AI overview, you see Triple Painting, one of our clients out of Ann Arbor. And now it's from here that people will get the option to click on Triple Painting, and it takes them to a separate Google search just for the company name. So regardless who wins this war in the end years from now, search is changing today, and it's changing from, I'm going to put in some keywords into Google and get 10 blue links that I'm going to click on. Less and less it's going to be about search engine optimization and keywords, and it's going to be a lot more about what AEO. Now I'm just going to literally ask one of these AIs a question, and it's going to give me an answer with some reference links to people I can follow up with. Now, because search is changing, some of your actions need to change as well. And I don't think it's important for you to know all the ins and outs of how all the details of SEO are changing. If you want, we have articles on that on our site. You can read into it. But I think what's more important is just giving you some key bullet points of here's the big things that are changing, big red flags for you to look out for. The first thing is a lot of people are investing entirely into their Google business profile. That's the main source that they have all of their reviews. That's where they put a ton of information of their business. ChatGPT, if you're looking to get ranked there, it cannot read your Google business profile the same way it can read other things on the web. It doesn't have the same level of access to it. So one quick thing that you can do to help out with this is go and claim your Bing Places profile as well. This is very similar to what Google has set up, but it's based out of Bing, which is Microsoft, which is the same company that has ChatGPT. The next thing you need to be doing is emphasizing answering questions online. Now, back to this triple example from earlier, you'll see that Reddit was actually cited as one of the sources for how it decided to put our client Triple at the top of the page. Going through local channels, pages, and public Facebook groups and answering questions that you have answers to in your community, it seems to both show you have authority both to Google and ChatGPT. So regardless, that seems like a solid practice to be following right now. And the last thing to note as a change in what you would typically see is you're going to expect fewer clicks on your website. The main thing to be familiar with for now is the era of the Zeroclick Search. So this means that more and more often people are coming onto Google and getting their answers without ever leaving Google. Clicks might not be the most reliable source of how well is this approach working anymore. It could be more things like attribution inside AI responses, questions in your discovery calls around how did you first hear from us, have you seen us on ChatGPT. And the last thing is, if you're talking to your SEO company, you might notice that the impressions may rise even if the sessions themselves stay flat. This just shows that the AI models are using your material from your website, so it's a good thing. It shows you're being referenced more on these large language models. Now, while this seems like all of this is changing quickly, it's hard to keep up with, here's a few things that can hopefully give you a little bit more hope moving forward. First of all, is ChatGPT and Google still hallucinate? Everybody knows this. We've personally seen where we've looked up a company name on ChatGPT and it will give us the name of a company, and then all of the information it lists underneath it will be for a completely different company. I've also had ChatGPT continuously still give me links to things that aren't real, broken links that it's just hallucinating. Google is having the same kinds of issues with their language models, and as people see this, as they're using it, they will quickly decide if this isn't working for them, I'm just going to go back to the old way of doing it. So these systems need to either change how they currently are operating, or they're just going to die off and just be a fad. So if there's anybody out there who's telling you they know exactly what the future is of this, and you give them your money and they're going to protect you 100%, I wouldn't trust it, because Google and ChatGPT, I don't even think know exactly where they're going. If there's anybody spouting off doomsday approaches of like, this is definitely going to end, this is the way the future is going to go, you need to put all your eggs in this new basket, completely abandon Google, I just wouldn't listen to them. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me based off what I'm seeing here. But for our last 2 points, there are a couple things that are probably going to hold true regardless. First off, it seems like reviews are only increasing in importance right now. Reviews seem to be a nice safe haven right now because they're important to people. It always makes sense to have reviews written by people. ChatGPT seems to be showing more preference for them. It's always been important for Google. So if you feel like you need to do something, but you're just not sure what's going to be a long-term good strategy, then what I'd recommend is putting resources into getting more reviews and spreading them out. Instead of just focusing on your Google business profile, focus on other sources, maybe Houzz, Angie, Facebook, Yahoo. ChatGPT specifically pulls from all those places. And yes, in the same way it can't see your Google business profile, it's not pulling from your Google business reviews. So spreading that information out, getting a ton of reviews in a bunch of different locations will not just help the future of search, but it will help people as well. And the last thing on all of this, if you can zoom past all the drama and all the little changes that are going to occur along the way that these companies make money is by connecting people who want services with reputable businesses. No matter what happens, they are trying to get that end goal. And as they continue to improve, all the little kinks about, oh, reviews don't matter here, or you need to be listed this way, you need to have different citations like this on your website, those will slowly get worked out. And the most important thing at the end of the day is being a reputable contractor. So if all of this has you scared and you aren't sure exactly what to do, put your resources into becoming that most trusted contractor, and then not putting all your eggs in one basket. Spread them out onto Facebook, onto Google, onto ChatGPT, and just continue to ask your clients, how are they looking for information? Where are they finding you? And invest in those places, because the more you can connect with your actual clientele, the safer off you'll be after all of this. Okay, so if you're looking for more information, there's 2 resources I would give you. My next video is going to be all about how to rank on ChatGPT, everything that we're seeing currently for how to make that happen. Also, conversational format, here's a conversation we have with Patrick from our SEO team to go through a deeper dive into how all of this is changing and his thoughts on everything. Anyways, I will catch you guys on the next one.